Most people spend their entire lives playing a character that someone else wrote for them. They accept the labels given by their parents, their boss, and their peers, completely unaware that their identity is a prison. But the most powerful people in history knew a secret that changes everything. They knew that you don't have to accept the hand you were dealt. You can tear up the script, throw away the labels, and design yourself from scratch. This is the essence of Law 25 of the 48 Laws of Power. Recreate yourself. If you don't take control of your own image, the world will define it for you, and they will almost always make you smaller than you actually are. Think about how most of us operate. We act a certain way because we think that's just who we are. We say things like, "I am not a leader," or "I am just a quiet person," or "I am not good with money." But identity is not fixed. It is a social construct. Robert Greene argues that the world wants us to be predictable because predictable people are easy to control and easy to categorize. When you allow society to assign you a role, you become a background character in your own life. Recreating yourself is about stepping into the spotlight. It is about taking the clay of your existence and molding it into a masterpiece of your own design. To truly understand how this works, we have to look at one of the greatest masters of self-reinvention in human history, a young man born into poverty in Corsica who went by the name Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was not born into royalty, nor did he possess a massive inheritance. In fact, he spoke French with a heavy accent that made his aristocratic peers laugh at him. If he had accepted the role society handed him, he would have remained a low-ranking, forgotten military officer. But Napoleon refused the script. He understood that power belongs to those who control their own narrative. He began to systematically recreate himself. He studied the great Roman emperors, copying their postures, their grand gestures, and their style of speech. He didn't just win battles. He carefully curated how those wins were reported back to Paris. He commissioned paintings that portrayed him as a godlike figure crossing the Alps on a charging white horse, even though he actually crossed them on a humble mule. When it came time for his coronation as Emperor of France, he didn't wait for the Pope to place the crown on his head. In a calculated, dramatic move, Napoleon snatched the crown and placed it on his own head. He showed the world that he was the sole creator of his destiny. He forced the world to accept the character he had invented. This isn't just a lesson for 19th century emperors. This is a blueprint for the modern world. In today's digital age, the power to recreate yourself is more accessible and more dangerous than ever before. Look at the most successful figures in business, entertainment, and tech. They are master illusionists. They understand that the public responds to myth, drama, and consistency. If you are trying to scale a business, climb the corporate ladder, or completely pivot your career, you cannot rely solely on hard work. Hard work is the baseline, but your image is the accelerator. If people perceive you as passive, compliant, and easily overlooked, it does not matter how talented you are. You will be bypassed for promotions and ignored in negotiations. Recreating yourself means deliberately changing how you speak, how you dress, and how you command attention in a room. It requires you to adopt the body language of authority long before you actually hold the title. This law applies deeply to personal growth and relationships as well. Have you ever noticed how old friends or family members always try to keep you in the exact same box you grew up in? They remember the insecure teenager or the person who made mistakes years ago. If you stay in that environment without recreating your boundaries, you will naturally fall back into those old, powerless patterns. Recreating yourself often requires a willingness to let go of old environments and even old relationships that insist on anchoring you to a past version of yourself. You must become comfortable with the discomfort of growth, even if it makes the people around you uneasy. The process of self-reinvention relies on two core elements: self-awareness and theater. First, you must ruthlessly analyze your current habits, weaknesses, and the way people perceive you. Identify the traits that are holding you back. Second, you must introduce a sense of the dramatic into your life. Power does not exist in a vacuum. It requires an audience. Learn to control your emotions. Speak with deliberate pacing, and master the art of the exit. Keep people guessing. When you become unpredictable, you fascinate people. And fascination is the first step toward influence. Do not let the world write your story. The labels you carry right now are only permanent if you choose to believe in them. You are the author, the director, and the lead actor in this production. If you do not like the character you are playing, drop the curtain, rewrite the script, and walk back out onto the stage as someone completely entirely new. If you found value in this deep dive into power, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a lesson on human psychology and strategy. Drop a comment below with the word reinvention if you are ready to take control of your own narrative, and let us know which of the 48 laws we should break down next.